G'day everyone. So today we're going to go through an upper body workout, a shooting workout, but first, before we do those two things, we're going to be doing a warm-up. So obviously when we play basketball, we do any kind of strength training, your shoulders are very, very important, as is your spine. So we just want to make sure that everything's warmed up, ready to go. And so the first thing we're going to do today, I'm going to assume first of all that you have no equipment right now. So we're just gonna start with forward circles, okay? And then you're gonna rotate to the back. All right, so we wanna get those shoulders nice and loose. This is also a good way for you to scan your shoulders to make sure everything's feeling okay. If something's feeling a little off, then we would wanna address it right now. Now, if you have a broomstick, hopefully you guys do. You can take a broomstick, this is just a PVC pipe. You can do the same exercise, but now we've got something to hold on to, okay? And it's gonna put a little bit more tension on the shoulders and create a greater stretch on your chest. So what you wanna do here is you're gonna go from your waistband in the front to the waistband in the back. Now this shouldn't be difficult. So if it's really hard to get back here, then loosen up your grip, okay? It's not supposed to be a strength exercise yet. This is purely mobility. And again, like I said, your opportunity to scan your shoulders. Now, if you are really lucky, and you have a band at your house, this is the next step, okay? So again, if you don't have the PVC pipe or a broomstick for some strange reason, you're just doing circles like this. Otherwise, if you're lucky like me and you have a band, you're gonna stick your thumbs right on the inside of the band because we don't want a lot of attention, and we're doing the same exercise. So that's 3 different ways you can do the same thing, and it looks very, very simple. However, you can't underestimate the mobility of your shoulders. Okay, that rotator cuff is too important. So once you've done that, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna come down to the floor, and as I tell you to get on your belly, many of you are gonna be groaning, and it's because you know what we're about to do. So we're gonna do something very, very important called a YWTA hold, okay? The reason why this is so important, and many of you have heard me give this spiel many, many times, but we're increasingly in a technologically advanced age where we're like this. So chiropractors have started to call, and physical therapists have started to call this texter's neck. So we're constantly looking down at our phones, whether it's for work, school, games, whatever, but we're constantly in this forward position in our shoulders and in our neck. So if I'm 6'3" and I have a hard time standing up tall, I'm not playing to my height. So I need to make sure that I have good thoracic extension. That's just part of my back, and that's what this is going to do. So this type of exercise is called an isometric hold, and that basically just means you're holding a position. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it just means you're holding a certain position, and you're essentially either using your body weight, you're pretty much using your body weight to create that tension, okay? So you know the drill. We're gonna go a Y position, we're gonna hold for 10 seconds, and we're gonna squeeze our lats right back here. We're gonna squeeze down into a W position, then we're gonna go out to a T, and then we're gonna flip our hands to the ceiling and create an A, okay? So I'm gonna do it facing this direction, all right? So we're gonna go chest down. When I say chest down, we're belly down, but chest is actually gonna be up. We wanna have that extension as much as possible, okay? So for those of you who are lying down like this, that's not a very effective way to hit this stretch. We're gonna start in 3 seconds, okay? And we're up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Imagine like you're grabbing handles to something and you're pulling down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Create those airplane wings. Chest up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I always like to pair this with the child's pose. So knees out, nice long spine. And breathe. Okay. So ordinarily, I would want you to do that at least 2 times. Just for the sake of the video, I'm going to take you through each exercise 1 time. And then we'll just progress from there. Now, normally we would pair a couple of other things with those YWTA holds, but for today, because we're going to incorporate black burns into our workout, we're not going to do them in the warm-up. The next thing we're gonna do, what we call T-spine twists. Okay, so you're gonna get on all fours, make sure your hand is right underneath your shoulder, and you want your knee as far underneath your hip as you can do, all right, as you can achieve. So if I'm out here, that's no good. Also, if I'm up here, that's no good. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hip. Make sure I'm sturdy. One thing I like to tell people is when you're doing this, brace as if someone's gonna try and push you over. If I'm not braced, then they'll push me over easily. If I'm braced, they're gonna have a little bit of a harder time doing so, all right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this elbow, touch it to my wrist, and then I'm gonna rotate up to the ceiling, and then you're gonna see how tight my back is today. So hopefully it's a good day. I'm gonna do 5 twists on each side, nice and slow. And I'm gonna look where my elbow goes. Remember not to hold your breath. And there's 5. And then for the other side, I'll face forward. Get position first. Okay, and there's that. So far we've done shoulder rotations, we've done isometric holds for our back and our shoulders, and then we've just done a twisting movement for our upper and mid back, okay? So that's a really, really good start to an upper body workout. Now what I would do is I would take my basketball and then I would just do some body reps, okay? Not necessarily for speed, although you can build up to that, but what we're doing now, just at a lower angle, is something very similar to what we're doing at the beginning. So I'm just gonna do it for like 15, 20 seconds or so. Then I'm just gonna switch directions, and I'm not gonna do the workout that I did the other day. I'm just gonna stay around my waist. And by doing this, your shoulder's opening up as you rotate around, and then it's coming forward a little bit as you receive the basketball. So you see how this can be pretty effective. And then if you want to speed it up a little bit, you can, but that's not necessarily the most important thing. So there you go, and that's all I'm going to have you do, okay? If we were in the gym together, we'd be doing some extra things, but that at home will be plenty before we go into our shooting routine and then our strength training routine. So a quick word on that. We're now going to go into our shooting routine. The reason why is if we're working to develop good shooting technique, get a good rhythm, increase our confidence, and get better, we don't necessarily want to do a bunch of strength training exercises right beforehand. The warm-up, yes, but not the exercises like push-ups and dumbbell rows and things like that. Because when I go over there, as I exercise, blood rushes into those muscles and causes a nice tight feeling. For some of us, it's kind of uncomfortable, but for many of us, we love that feeling because it makes us feel big and strong and lean. However, as I go over there, my range of motion is a little restricted. So if I'm going over there and I start to stand up, I'm gonna have a little less range of motion, so my shot's gonna be affected, and then it's just gonna mess my shot up a little bit. So it's always a good idea, when it's in your power, do your warm up, then hit the court if you can, and then I'll do the strength training a little bit later on, which is what we're gonna do today.